You know, the Wild Wild West is not only a ridiculous Will Smith movie and an iconic Kool Moe Dee song, it's also an accurate description of the state of the Western Conference with 10 games to go. Here to break it all down in a new segment called Broussard's Wild Wild West is Chris Broussard.
Thank you, Wilds, and it's
so
Brew's
excited.
Wild Wild West.
Oh, sorry.
But look, as my friend Nick Wright would say, these are not the standings. These are not the seedings. They're not the rankings. They are the 10 teams ranked in the West, ranked in order of chance to get to the finals. All right, so let's go with number 1 or number 10.
There we go.
The Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, obviously, they have no chance to get to the finals, but somebody's got to be number 10. All right, and Karl Anthony Towns is reportedly coming back tonight. So I actually think New Orleans is better, especially with Zion, but I don't think New Orleans is going to get in the play-in, so they can't be here. Number 9, Oklahoma City. Nick, this is your squad that you were pubbing. They're one of the hottest teams in the league. They won 8 of the last 10. And Wild's good news for you. The way they look right now, if Chet Holmgren is what we think he might be, and I like Chet, then they could be something to deal with next year. At number 8, Nick's Dallas Mavericks. Now, Nick likes to talk about the Warriors having no chance of winning the West. They got a better chance than the Mavericks. All right, because first of all, the Mavericks can't even get their 2 stars on the court together, although looks like Luke will be back tonight for that game against the Warriors, which will be exciting. But they're just 3. Kyrie is questionable. Wow, what a surprise. They're only 3 and 4 when Kyrie and Luka play together. And you know what? When they play together, or even if they're both on the bench, they don't guard. They don't guard at all. They don't guard a lick. So they're the 8th team in there. Number 7, Sacramento.
The disrespect.
Now, I will give you this. Some people would want to switch these teams, which I can see, but you know why I got Sacramento ahead of Dallas, Nick? I'm going to respect the regular season.
I'm saying
I'm going to give a little bit of respect to the regular season and say, you know
not
what
that
you've done.
much.
Well, here's the thing. They haven't been in the playoffs in 16 years.
Yeah.
No team in NBA history has come out of that type of drought and gotten to the finals. And usually if a team even comes close to that type of drought, you had to add a couple of superstars in the offseason. They did none of that. They're playing well. And you know what else they got in common with the Mavericks? They don't guard either. They're 26th in the league in defense. You score a bunch, but in the playoffs, you got to guard. At number 6, and this was a sad one for me. It would be higher, but Paul George, look, I guess we got some kind of good news that he could be back for the playoffs, but they got no chance of winning the West without Paul George.
That's right.
Hopefully, he'll be back and able to play, and maybe they'll rise up. But right now, I got him number 6. Number 5, Nick, you're going to think this is disrespectful, too. The Denver Nuggets.
That's right.
All right. If you're a Nuggets fan, they don't really guard either. They've lost 5 of their last 7. At best, they're a fair to middling defensive team or outright poor. And the good news, if you're a Nuggets fan and you want to cling on to something other than the great Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray looks like he's kind of back to his old self. Last 3 months, averaging about 22 points a game, shooting the ball really well. At number 4, the LA Lakers. Now, obviously, this is with LeBron James coming back. But, man, they got defense with AD. AD, for all his problems, he's a great number 2. And that's what he would be compared to next to LeBron. They're great defensively when he's on the floor. And I can't forget Jared Vanderbilt, great pickup. Sure. They got shooting. LeBron, if he can come back, then they're going to be tough to beat. They're going to be a tough out if they get in the tournament. At number 3, the Golden State Warriors. I respect pedigree. All right, this is 27 years of covering the NBA. Nick was in diapers when I started covering the NBA. And I'm respecting. Look, their best player, Steph Curry, is playing as well as ever.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson averaging 25 points a game in the calendar year of 2023, which is a significant number of months now. And look, they need Andrew Wiggins back. They gotta have Wiggy back. All right, if they don't have Wiggins back, then, they can't do anything. Here's what I want, though.
Well, Draymond's not coming back.
Draymond, listen to
Why are you the only one who won't acknowledge he's not coming back?
Draymond admitted that I kind of lost my authority when I sucker punched Jordan Poole, okay?
Yeah.
Draymond, it's winning time. Draymond needs to go, if he hadn't done it already, go in front of your teammates and say, look, guys, I get it. I lost some authority because of what I did. He's already apologized, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, you got to say, you know what, though? This is playoff basketball. We are here to win now. It ain't about the seedings, and it's not about the regular season. We about winning championships. I'm going to be yelling at y'all. I'm going to be holding everybody accountable on the defensive end because lack of communication.
I'm gonna ask Kevin
as
Durant
I
to
broke
come back.
down the film,
Yeah.
I saw lack of communication
Yeah,
was a big problem with it. At number 2, Nick, your Memphis
Finally,
Grizzlies.
you
I
got
don't know if
something.
yours. I'm the Ja guy. Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, look, they got question marks. We got to see how Ja comes back. I think he'll come back well. But, Nick, they're a very good team. And you said it, second best defensive team in the league. And on top of that, Jaren Jackson Jr., 3J, 28 points a game over the last 4 games. He's been balling. Obviously, Tyus Jones, best backup point guard in the league. So I do like the Grizzlies. Here's the red flags, other than the whole Ja situation. Don't shoot the 3 very well.
Yep.
All right, that could be a problem.
Middling
And the
offense.
immaturity, which maybe that'll be worked out. Number 1,
We know.
the Phoenix Suns. Now, look, I'll be the first to admit, Kevin Durant playing 7-8 games with his team for the first time, that they're going to get to the finals. But every team on every logo has major league question marks. Kevin Durant's the most malleable superstar in the league. When he stepped in and played those 3 games with him, Devin Booker averaged 35 points a night. They got 3 of the best mid-range shooters in the league, and they shoot the 3 where they're top 6 three-point shooting
3
team.
games.
And look at these numbers, Nick. I know it's only 3,
3-game sample.
but that's all we got. That's all we got.
Well, that's not good.
All right? They're 10 points ahead of the Kings, who look great offensively, and the defensive
Can I
rating is
jump in?
legit.
3 games.
Best
3
in the
games.
league
That's what I'm
offensive
saying.
rating. Best in the
Again,
league defensive
Bruce-
rating. Thank you, Dustin.
Brew's on
Thank
graphics
you, Dustin.
probation. Can I jump in? Because it is
Great
Brew.
segment.
Thank you.
Here's
Wild
the thing.
Wild West.
Brew doesn't do a lot of lists. Brew, when it comes to the list, is not typically the man in the arena. He is the critic, throwing stones. And now I finally get to do something I have been
Literally
waiting
have
to
the
do.
Bud
He rips my
for
Bud
months.
list apart every
No,
week.
the Bud list.
You're
is
going to
not-
do it tomorrow, literally.
No,
You're gonna rip it in March.
Bud list is its own separate thing, I would say, because it's 3 people. But set that aside. This is a terrible list. This is ridiculous. I have so many issues with it. First of all, the Grizzlies should obviously be number 1.
Obviously?
Second of all,
Really?
the Kings' disrespect is wild to me. They have, Brew, they have the best offense in NBA history.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
Can
just
you
telling
stop
you.
it with that? Because that is
Hold-
so.
Hey, Wilds, am
That
I
is
facts
so
or feelings?
based on the
Well,
Am I
three-point
facts
shot.
or feelings?
I mean, a little bit of
Everybody
both.
has the
A little
best
bit of
offense
both.
in history nowadays.
No,
Because the three-point
no.
shot has changed it.
No, well, the Kings, do they have different rules this year for the Kings
How'd
than
they do
anybody
last
else?
night?
They,
Great.
They,
Gave up 130
but that's not
points
what I
or
want to talk
something.
about.
They don't guard.
What I want to talk about is this. Brew's arguments against the Mavs are the exact arguments he ignored when it applied to Kyrie's previous team. Except the Mavs have a better number 1 option, the Mavs are better defensively, and the Mavs have a real head coach. And so they are better than those
Better
Brooklyn teams.
defensively?
Than those Brooklyn teams
Brooklyn
were?
got great
Absolutely.
under Jacques Vaughn defensively.
Again, under Jacques Vaughn, I'm talking about the previous years when you were dying to pick the Mavs and did each and every year.
I don't
but let me
remember all that.
let me ask, because Luka, okay, we all remember it, and all of the issues that you are now foisting upon me, you denied were in existence with Kyrie. But because I believe in Luka, I believe Luka right now is the most, in the Western Conference, the most reliable playoff performer of anyone. I think he can overcome it. But here's my question, Brew, because I think you should have Dallas and the Warriors flip-flopped exactly where they are. When Dallas wins tonight, will that cow you even a little bit? When Dallas wins
should.
tonight
It should.
with let's say Kyrie does not play and they win in Luka's first game back, will that at all give you pause? Because then the Warriors will be in that play-in area where they could fall out entirely.
No.
So nothing will.
Not this, not tonight. Not
okay.
one game.
It should.
What
I'm
about
looking at
74
years.
games? What about this year?
I'm looking
What
at
about
years.
74 games?
Nick, how in the world can you have the 3rd best home record in the league and be a horrible team?
Well,
As
the
bad
only
as
way
think
you
they
could
are.
do it, and I didn't say they're a horrible team. They just can't win the
A
title.
bad team.
The only way you could do that is if you have the 3rd worst road record, which they do. Go ahead, Wild.
You know, Brew, I know that you respect the regular season, and I'm going to pick a team that's very out of fashion right now. I'm not very in vogue. The Denver Nuggets. No one wants to be a Denver Nuggets fan anymore, except old KW, who picked them before the season because, I don't know, they have the best player in the league. Second best. I'm actually a Giannis guy. Here's the stats you need to know. 30-6 at home. Maybe they don't win a road game the entire path to the finals. They would do fine.
Best home.
Let's look at their Western ranks. Oh, I don't know. Point differential. It's not a Bucks-esque. Remember when the Bucks were like winning games by like 12 points. But still, second best in the West. 3-point percent shooting. Well, you always claim the Warriors are the best. Actually, the Nuggets are the best. And they defend the three well, too. And then finally, are they just beating up on a bunch of tomato cans? No. Record versus winning teams. Denver, great. Grizzlies below 500. Suns, now granted, they didn't have Kevin Durant the whole year. Warriors, most of those are on the road. And the Lakers just don't win games. So those are the teams that are ahead of them. So just give Denver a little bit of respect.
I had them fifth.
Fifth, they're the best team in the West.
Are they? We'll see. They got a chance to prove
Not
it.
the standings, but
I wouldn't be hating if they do prove me
Can I
wrong,
ask
but
Brew a very
I
quick
just don't
question?
see it. And I didn't see the Mavericks on your little chart about winning.
Well, all those teams, I don't know what that chart was because all those teams had below 500 record except for the Mavs. Or maybe the Mavs haven't played. Except for the
their
Nuggets.
teams above the Denver.
Got it. Would you be more surprised if the Nuggets made the finals or lost in round one? What would be more surprising?
Make the final.
Yeah, agreed.
Make the final.
They're not losing.
Agreed. We can make that bet, Wilds.
He
You
don't
get the
wanna
finals, I get losing round one.
your money
Anything
where
else
the
is
mouth
no
is.
action.
Bet. That's
no,
not the
anything
bet.
else
Put
is
your money
no
where your mouth
action. You get it if they make the finals, you win. If they lose in round one, I win, and anything in between is no action. You want to make that
Take
bet?
that.
Let's make that
I'll
bet.
bet that.
We'll make that bet.
Yeah, 100,000. Coming up next.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.